Hello, everyone. Welcome to the AI for Good Innovation Factory. My name is Josh Chooi from the ITU, International Telecommunication Union. I'm very happy to moderate today's Innovation Factory session. ITU is the United Nations specialized agency for ICTs, and we are also the organizer of AI for Good Global Summit in partnership with 38 UN sister agencies and co-convened with Switzerland. The Innovation Factory is a program launched last year under the flagship initiative AI for Good Global Summit. It is an online pitching platform for startups, but not just a pitching event, but also it helps the startups grow and scale up their innovative AI solutions to achieve their SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. Last year, we received more than 200 applications from 46 countries. And so far this year, we've got more than 140 applications from 35 countries. So it is growing very well as a global startup pitching platform, but also we are committed to bridging the gap between the solution seekers, which can be UN partners and governments and corporates and solution creators, mainly from startups, so that we can position our program more than just a pitching platform, but rather a startup growth accelerator and a startup-driven SDG solution exchange hub. Okay, so now let me kickstart today's session. Especially today's session is co-hosted with a National Innovation Agency of Thailand, aka NIA, and InnoLab Asia, headquarters in Vietnam. I'm so glad to introduce also 5 innovators from Thailand and Vietnam today who were selected through national competition process led by these 2 partner organizations. And then all of them have a really great also global growth potential, I believe. And also they have a very interesting AI-driven solutions. So I'm very excited to see what kind of innovations are coming from this region. So firstly, I'm glad to introduce Ms. Pichari Kiratiraku. I'm sorry for my poor pronunciation of your family name, from NIA Thailand. So Pichari, please tell us a little bit about who is the NIA and what are you guys doing to foster innovation in Thailand as well as the global ecosystem across years.
Thank you, Josh, and thank you for having us in for AI for Good and for providing the pitching opportunity for Thai startups. So NIA or NIA, we are part of the ecosystem of innovation building to promote and facilitate creation, the management and implementation of innovation in Thailand. For short, we facilitate the creation and how to drive the innovation in Thailand by providing grant or maybe grooming the human resources to be innovators or to build the mindset of Thai people or the young generation of Thai people to be able to be innovators or to be business people in the future. And we also have a growth scheme to be able to, when they groom, they have a grant and they can grow more in a better scale, to be for like international scale, to be a part of maybe for AI for Good innovation factories, such as your platform. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pichari. And also, I'm very happy to see all the innovation, ecosystem never stopped even with the COVID-19 situation in your country as well as also the Southeast Asia. And so we will be very happy to see continuing, new stories and success stories and use cases from your innovation ecosystem players. So thank you very much. Okay, and next, another co-hosting partner, InnoLab Asia. And we have Mr. Kong Tang Huyen, who is the co-founder of InnoLab Asia. So Tang, please tell us also about how InnoLab was founded and its role in the innovation ecosystem domestically and internationally, and what are the lessons learned you got, especially during the COVID-19 situation.
Thanks a lot, Josh, for creating this platform for another startup that we can recommend from Vietnam and Thailand to join the rising AI startup in Vietnam and Thailand event. And we are one of the we from the private tech sector, because we see that we need to have the ecosystem builder in the ecosystem beside the government to support the startup ecosystem in Vietnam. And we monthly we have the crowd pitch, which we introduce the rising startup to the investor. And those who want to know more about Vietnam can join our crowd pitch to know more about that. Besides that, we provide investment for a startup, and we also do some of the M&A for potential SME where we can apply with the technology. And we help the corporate with the corporate innovation advisory, run the incubation and acceleration program for them. For those who from other country and want to start up in Vietnam, we have the market entry program to help them to supplant in the market, to understand the market, and connect them with those who have a key role in the industry in Vietnam. Yep, and in COVID-19, we run a lot of events to promote Vietnam and get more people from other countries to understand more about Vietnam policy, about the startup ecosystem. And good luck to be here to promote Vietnam and our startup. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tan. Well, yeah, well, quite a lot of also my colleagues in the startup in Korean ecosystem here, Korean startup ecosystem here in Seoul. I am currently based, and then many of them visited these days Vietnam, and then they were quite surprised with the really dynamics of the startup ecosystem in your country. And also, yeah, we believe that the Vietnam, also Thailand, can contribute a lot to the overall innovation ecosystem, especially to tackle the SDGs, a lot of challenges, and then also have a lot of interesting partnership with the United Nations. Thank you very much. All right, okay, let's move to an introduction to our judges today. So we have very distinguished judges from various backgrounds. Firstly, Ms. Sun Young Hong, who is the impact investment expert, and then she is the impact investment manager from Envisioning Partners, which is impact investment from based in Seoul, South Korea. So Sun Young will also tell us about what the impact investment is about and what's your business focus currently.
Thank you for the introduction. Yes, I'm Sun Young from Envisioning Partners. Envisioning Partners is an impact investing VC, the largest one in South Korea, and we focus on climate change. We focus on investing in companies that would drive innovations in the climate change problem. And within climate change, we invest in energy solutions, carbon capture, and food and ag, and circular economy. However, we also invest in education, future of work, and health and wellness as well. And I'm very happy to meet all the companies and excited to learn about how your technology will bring innovation in the respective fields. Thank you.
And thank you very much. And well, as far as I know, Envisioning Partners have a really extensive, a wide range of portfolios, as Sun Young said, from climate change and education and the future roles, particularly focused on the social impact ventures. And then I hope there will be more and more opportunities between the your company and some other also partners within the AI for Good Innovation Factory program. Thank you very much again. Okay, and then we have Mr. Jess Chooi from Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation, known as MDEC. Well, actually, the MDEC co-hosted a session last week, and then we introduced a really interesting and promising AI startup from Malaysia. And thank you for helping us again. So Jess, tell us about what the MDEC is doing for global or international collaboration and partners, particularly to foster innovation during this global pandemic and beyond.
Thank you so much, Josh, for that introduction. So my name is Jesse. I come from Malaysia Digital Economic Corporation. I work in a division that is geared to help nurture the startup ecosystem as well as Malaysian tech companies to go global. Right. So among some of the initiatives that we do for startups in Malaysia include a corporate innovation, where we support the growth of startups by partnerships with large corporates within Malaysia. We also have a program to help startups to go regional by linking them to business partners in the region. And we also have a team that works on funding, to facilitate startups to raise funds for their expansion. And last but not least, we also give a bit of visibility in terms of media and press exposure to startups who have achieved certain milestones in their journey. So we collaborate with other agencies, other like-minded agencies in Malaysia, and we're also very glad to be part of this international network, ITU. And I look forward to listening to the up-and-coming startups from Thailand and Vietnam. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jesse. Well, yeah, it's a very interesting session because we have all interesting Asia-based startups and also judges from also the other countries, and perhaps we'll have some more international audience. So yeah, well, we are all, I think, excited to see what type of innovations are really making impact in this region. Also, what kind of global impact potential those startups have. All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Jess, again. Well, actually, we were supposed to have one more judge from Switzerland, Mickaël Mesbauer, who is the program manager from CoLab, which is the startup accelerating firm focused on impact tech startups. I've just received the message from him, and then he's got a really terrible network problem today. So he's trying to connect, but if not, perhaps we have to go through only with Sanyang and Jess. But I believe these two judges also will make a perfect contribution to today's session. Okay, so thanks a lot to all our judges and all our co-hosts and partners. I'm very excited to move on to pitching competition now. So before moving on, I'd like to inform all the audience that there is also chat functionality. So everybody can leave some comments and questions to startups. So, but please make sure to set the message recipient to all panelists and attendees, not all panelists. So so that everybody can see your questions. And also startup founders and CEOs who's going to pitch today can leave answers after your pitch with the comments, and you guys have a chat, and even maybe you guys can make some kind of interesting partnership deal, who knows. So, all right. Okay, let's move on. So first stage is for HRAI. HRAI is a tech startup developing AI solutions applied to factory management activities such as smart parking or checking labor behaviors and timekeeping and temperature management measurements, and etc. etc. So HRAI, if you're ready, please turn on your camera and also share your screen. So Hui, if you're ready, please do on.
Yes, I will share my screen.
Yeah, also, can you open your camera, please?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes. Okay, you have 5 minutes. Please go on.
Yes, as first I want to say thank you to give me the opportunity to introduce my solution of my company. And the solution have 5 modules, and I will talk about it later. As first, I want to talk about our market. At the general, there's Vietnam had 392 industrial, and we plan to become we have the potential to become a new manufacturing centers of the world. And and the study advocate industrial development and correct investment in production activity, and leader of all level aim to capture the foreign capital into industry, and the government promote to scientific research and technology application to the service. And then we know the problem have to the factory of our country, that the many factory are temporarily closed due to the pandemic, and a very large number of workers due to the production expansion, and they still have some issue of the security control and ensuring the information that is still very difficult. And human resource management and supervisions admin is still manual. The level of resource and consuming of these operations is too high and too much waste. And there's still a high drive risk due to the lack of work safety, and many factories aim to digitalize and automate the management of human resource activity. And so that we introduce the solution of us that has 5 modules. As this first module is what the AI smart parking does, allow the worker to automatically park their motorbike in the parker. And the second module does the enhanced security management for the factory, so that they can use the AI camera to recognize the face, and the CCTV to auto capture the license or the ID card to recognize and capture the reason why they come to the factory, as well as the appointment. And the third module is the smart waste station. There are a lot of factory in Vietnam that have the waste stations, but the process is still manual. So we provide a smart waste station. It will have the factory that automate their process just by using an AI camera and CCTV, and connect to the scale that we will put everything in the automation. And the fourth is the timekeeping and safe manner checking. That's we will provide the factory that they can check the uniform of the worker when they come to the factory, and ensuring the safety of the worker when they work in the factory in a very harmful environment. And the fifth, the HR management website, that we will make it like a centralized management software to control on the form module, and showing all the statistics and control everything. And talk about the competitor. That's we have 2 competitors at the same time, and AltoTech, and we can clearly recognize our advantage is that our solution have a low price, that we meet all the demand, and we have the local service support that's very fast, direct flow support, and we can customize according to the customer wish, and we're flexible. We can deploy the solution on cloud or on premise depending on the customer. And we found with a very young crew, and the development part of us is that we found on the 2018 we create a startup and research and develop the solution, and in the 19 that we have the very first customer IPPG and Ace. This company is very big. And in the 20 we complete the AI solution for factory and successfully apply to CG Food Head Office and Vietnam factory. And in the 21 we successfully apply to Hoa Sen factory, like Vina Cocoa factory and Sun Wind Farm. Some of these have some of they have some problem with their process, like using the parking car, some human resource problem when they are waste too much time to process. the thing that repeatedly, and when we meet them and we hear about their problem, we provide them the solution that meet their demand, and we show how we can do to solve the problem. And talk about the revenue in 19, that we just make the $20,000 in the revenue, but we come to $50,000, and then in this year 21 that we have make the $150,000 in revenue, and that's without any marketing plan, as we just use the personal networking to get a customer. And we predict that next year revenue, if we have the fund, we can do many things like marketing plan, and social advertising, and that
we were 30 seconds left.
We will have the 100% without fund, and 300% growing with fund. And the next year of plan us that we will continue to research on behavior of worker and OEE management. And you guys can see the website of us or contact if through this information. And now,
okay, thank you very much, Chooi. Thanks for your presentation. Okay, so now it's Q&A time. So Sanyong, just whoever wants to start, anyone can just raise a hand and then start question, please. Chooi, can you stop your screen sharing, please?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, Sanyong, you go first.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for your presentation. I have a question about whether you have any metrics about how much cost you can save for your customers, and how much kind of productivity or efficiency you can improve for your customers.
Yes. Talk about the cost that we reduce from for our customer. That is hardly to estimate. We just a small startup that we apply when we apply the solution for this company, and at the time that they use that, they have a very good feedback back up to us. And actually that we still haven't have any statistic to estimate what exactly the percentage of reduction for the cost for the company. But our company, our customer keep recommend us for another company, so that just have in the close network that we already have about 5 customers.
Thank you.
Hi, Chooi, this is Jesse here. Thank you for your presentation. I have a question. In terms of your go-to-market strategy, currently, are you going direct to your customers? And in terms of implementation, are you working with any partners, or you are doing it on your own?
In the present, that every customer that we have, that's due to the close networking, and we haven't had any marketing plan or any social advertise. So that at first that we make the startup for support, for make a solution for the first company, and then we just a group of people to develop the solution to meet their demand. And after that, this company introduced us to another company and another company, and with the good feedback, the other company that give us the belief, and after try to use their our product, they decide to sign the contract and making us the officially partner. And till now, that's the only way that we got the new customer. And if we got the fund, that we can expand the team, and we can make another marketing plan and another sales plan to increase the customer and increase the market.
Thank you. In terms of your business plan, what is it like?
Our strategy is to aim to the small and the medium factory, because the factory is can afford to the very big solution from the big tech company. They usually have a very low budget for the thing they think, because they see that if they use a very large budget for just automate some process, they can see what it might come put to them, what it might bring them. But when we aim to these small and medium company, we we let them use we let them use a trial version, and then we show them how the solution might affect their company with a lower price. And after a short time, they try to use our product, and they got our solution, and then they believe and try to sign a contract with us. I think the small and the medium factory in Vietnam is a very big market. There is a lot. There's a lot small factories still have the very manual process that we can provide them a lot of solution and give them the just with the trial version on a lower cost, and that will bring them to the sustainability in the solution.
Okay, thank you. So it is, do they buy the solution, or can they subscribe to the solution?
Actually, that we are in now that they will buy the solution, but we are building the platform so that they can use the solution on cloud and subscribe to it.
I have a question about your technology. I assume with the kind of identifying, people and control, the entrance security management system and so on, you would need computer vision. But I would like to kind of learn more about how you use AI to for your solution.
Of our solution, that's we use the AI on edge. That means the AI have integrate to the device, and it will way more efficiency, and then the device will connect to the computer, and this will communicate with our service that we install on the computer. And then when the camera detect a person with the HRAI on it, it will give a signal to our service, and our service will send the signal. If need any other algorithm to process on the server, we will send a signal to the server to process it and bring it back to the customer PC. Or if it did not, so that we just use the information that the signal that we got from the camera. That's the AI of the AI camera for recognize the people, and other algorithm, other the stuff that we got, like natural language processing or OCR. That's we build the module on the server. like detecting the license plate of the car. That we will capture the image, and then we will put the image on the server through the algorithm to it, so it can read and extract the information from the license plate, and then give it back to our software to do all the process.
I was wondering, in terms of the legal aspect, does would you have any kind of privacy issues in terms of using your technology?
Privacy issues. I think not. Because each customer, when they sign the contract to us, that means we will provide them the right to use the software. That's we give them the key and the account that they can use our algorithm, our module on the cloud service. And each customer, each factory, that we have a list of key, a list like a manager account, so they only can use what they have subscribed, what they have buy, and what in the contract that we have signed. Is this miss your question?
So they would, so in terms of using your technology and the countries that you operate, it is okay to capture, the employers or, the drivers, I don't know, images. So that's.
Okay, I get you. That's before we run the process, that have a 2-man stage. The first stage is that we need to collect the data from the employee to run the computer vision to make it learn how to recognize them. As first stage, that we need to sign the very first contract to the company. That we have the right to use their employee image and only use their employee image to training for the model, so that we will have a policy contract with them about using the employee data for training. And after we deploy the solution on the factory, that's every image or every information of a user that will stay on the local storage on their computer or their only account, and we have the policy on the contract that we sign with them that we do, that we won't use their data for any further purpose.
I see. Thank you.
Okay, well, yeah, given the limited time, of course, there must be more and more questions that rises in their minds from judges, but we have to finish here now. So thank you very much, Chooi, again. Thank you for your presentations, and thanks a lot for all the answers to the questions. Okay, so let us quickly move to the second pitch, which will be done AltoTech. So AltoTech is a company who has developed the AIoT platform. I think it's a combination of AI and IoT, right? So called Alto Energy Edge, to help hotels and buildings and some properties save money on electricity bill with the IoT and AI algorithm. So now it's your turn. Please go on.
Okay, I hope you see my video and hear my voice. Okay, so my name is Yellowdog. I'm the CEO and founder of AutoTech. So we are AI and IoT startup based in Thailand. So we built Alto Energy Edge, the platform for managing energy inside hotel, building, and smart city. So based on the problem. So if we don't do anything, right, our work gonna be impacted by a lot by climate change, right? So 5 people gonna die annually. GDP impact gonna be reduced by 18%, right? If we do nothing, so we need to stop, adding GHG to our atmosphere. So when we look at the source of GHG emissions, it coming from manufacturing, it coming from building and electricity consumption. So looking at the sector that has most potential, building has the potential that we can reduce CO2 at low cost. Not only us that think about this, but also like, big corporate in Thailand, in Southeast Asia, or around the world, they set the target to reduce CO2 emission by 30% by 2030. So, but reducing CO2 emission and being energy efficient is not easy, right? It's really hard and complicated because why? Because building has a lot of system. You have pumps, you have chillers, you have lighting system and AC that come from different brands, come from different protocols and different platforms, right? So, and also even though you have that complex system, you also need expert, right? You have to have expert that really hard to hire, really hard to find now, right? So you have mechanical engineer, electrical engineer who really expert. So really hard to find. But even though you have expert, you still have manual control. You have so many screens, so many systems that it's hard to control. So what we do, we develop Auto Energy Edge, which is the platform that comprises of 3 parts. So number 1, we have Auto OS, which is the operating system that connect device from various vendor, various manufacturers, chiller, lighting, different aircon system, something like that. So we have that data integration. We have energy analytics that can analyze the potential of energy saving of building automatically by our virtual data scientists. So after that, we not only stop only at analytics, we go forward to building what we call self-driving algorithm based on, we build it based on reinforcement learning algorithm that this algorithm gonna drive building so that aircon, lighting, pumps, they're working together to help building to save energy. So what we are doing, we implement our solution in 4 steps. Number 1, we do energy audit, find the estimate potential energy saving. Number 2, we design, install IoT device. Number 3, we run our self-driving algorithm based on the model that we train on digital twin of the building itself. Number 4, we have a web application that building owners and stakeholders can go and see their saving and get the insights. For example, we implement Auto Energy Edge at one of the corporate building in Bangkok. It's called the building called Big Green Gardening. So for this building, it has solar, it had aircon, it had fresh air device, it has curtain, everything. So based on 2019 standard, this building is fine. But if we're gonna see that okay, this building gonna is still pollute our environment, right? To become zero energy building in the next 15 years, we have to reduce energy consumption by half. And without control, without software, this building gonna emit a lot of CO2, right? So what Auto Energy Edge do? We develop AI algorithm that make building to be able to see. It can see how many people in the building. It can feel people how too hot or too cold. It can predict what will be the load, what will be the solar, what will be the outdoor weather, and then it can act by itself. So this is how our algorithm work. We develop digital twins of the building, and we train our AI model to be able to control this building. After we get the AI model that can be able to optimize energy consumption in the simulated world, we deploy this algorithm into the real world on our Auto OS algorithm and let it control, for example, automatically set temperature setting of aircon automatically, or select which FCU, HU, or aircon to on and off at different time of the day. And people can also give the feedback to train the building to act smarter and save energy. So we can run the building in 2 modes. Number 1, self-driving, that all devices inside building gonna control itself automatically by our agents. And when we have to do operation, we can run it in manual mode. So based on what we do, we can save energy around 10 to 30% comparing to the base case that no control. manual by human, so we can help building save a lot of energy. So for our business model, it's really simple. We based on energy saving from the electricity bill, we get the share saving from their saving, and they can choose whether they want to buy, subscribe, take loan from bank, or even escrow to go and invest for their project. So with this,
30 seconds left.
So with this, we can scale our solution to different type of building, like factory, supermarket, hotel, hospital, and we can extend. We don't only save energy, but we can do demand response or extend to carbon trading market that owner can claim their carbon reduction, and even blockchain energy trading. And Southeast Asia market, it's like trillion of dollars. So our traction, we did a project with 25 clients, like a big one, and we have like hundreds of clients that who interest and in our project pipeline now. Our team comprised of experts from different fields. So I graduated from Virginia Tech and did a lot of energy project innovation with US Department of Energy and also like Ministry of Energy in Thailand. And our team, we have mechanical engineer and expert in computer engineer. So we already raised fund at seed round with 500 startup, which is like global angel, global VC. So we now open for collaboration with different stakeholder like customer, partner, and also like we also like looking for Series A investor. So thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Waradam. Okay, so you can finish your screen sharing. Okay, let's move on Q&A session.
Hi, Dr. Waradam. Thank you for your presentation. I just have a quick question. In terms of your network architecture, do you is it a combination of edge computing and versus cloud processing on the cloud? Could you share a bit more on that?
Sure. For our architecture, we base on what we call hybrid cloud architecture. So we develop software called AutoOS, which is deployed at the edge. So we have our edge device, like for example, like Intel NUC, you know, like or Dell Gateway, something like that, or even Raspberry Pi that we can deploy our AutoOS in. So with AutoOS, we can talk to device with different protocols, backnet, Modbus, you know, like you name it, like Bluetooth, you know, like 4G. So with that, we send data, we stream data. We perform analytics local, and then we also stream data to the cloud so that we can train the model on the cloud. So for cloud, we use different cloud vendor like Azure, AWS, Google Cloud. So different, we use like different modules with different cloud. So with that on the cloud, it helps us to train big data. For example, we have unstructured data like video, image, and also streaming data from IoT. We train that, analyze that on the cloud, and then once we get the model, we push it back to the edge. So basically, it's like a hybrid cloud architecture.
Thank you. Any patents filed so far?
For the patent, we working on it. We didn't like so I publish papers. So on our code, it's like once you write it, you immediately get the copyright. But mostly we publish paper on HRAI, on like, you know, Power Energy Society and those stuff. But we still like working on like the patent and like working with some of the lawyer to like, you know, understand all this issue and what can be patent or what just gonna be like papers.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. I have a question about kind of deploying your technology. Can your system be connected to any existing building system, or do they need to retrofit certain equipments or certain IT systems? Yeah.
Yes. So our system can work on both way. I mean, for example, if you have small and medium-sized building, that building may not have any software at all. We can use our software. We can put Auto Energy Edge to those small and medium-sized building. But looking at bigger one building, they may already have building automation system. They may have like building energy management, or most of that building they use 9 Angora, right? They use like a big system that or Honeywell, or, like Johnson Control. We can integrate our software at the control layer, and we can put our software on top of them, because for those building, even though they have building automation, but they use it only for monitoring. Or like human manual control. So we have that use case with big building in Thailand, like through Deer Park, or a hospital, or like hotel that we gonna work on. So we can integrate our software at the control layer. There's no need to do monitoring and layer, but we just like put AI on top to like help technician or replace technician on the control part.
What are your views, or what is your competitive edge against some of the other competitors? Okay, so for the competitor, I think I can divide into like two sides. Number one, the existing company that doing a building automation system. So we can think about them as competitor or partner. So by competitor, maybe there's some some company that they like, okay, they have solution for small building, medium-sized building, and big building, and they want to put their platform. But most of those company, they use already made software like like 9 Angora or something, right? That you have to buy license. So for us, we don't need to buy license. So for our implementation, flexibility, all this stuff, we can compete them. But we also think about them as partner, because if they do IoT installation, they do like do some those manual work, meaning that they still need the control. Most of those company, they don't have AI control. They don't have even data analytics. They can do simple monitoring and control. So we can convert them into our partner as well and let them do the groundwork. And they want to do the groundwork as well, because they have like they specialize in that work, right? So meaning that we can scale if we partner with them. So and another side, with our direct competitor, the company that doing AI control, the data analytics platform, that not a lot. I mean, I can count how many in Thailand, less than less than like one hand can count. So different company has different like like aspect. Some company they specialize in electric vehicle. Some company they specialize in chiller, maybe only chiller. But for us, it's kind of like we have people with different backgrounds, so when looking at buildings, I think we have skills that can manage like big, medium, and like small size. So I think we have comparing to other company in Southeast Asia as well. We think we strong in that control algorithm development. We also benchmark ourselves with the team in the US because once I graduated, I connected with the team from US Department of Energy. They also doing pretty much the same thing in the North America side. So we kind of benchmark our algorithm with them as well, like to see like where we are. But for Southeast Asia, I think we one of the leader that doing this. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So thank you very much, Waradom, for your great presentation. Also, very kind answers to all the questions. Thank you very much. Okay, well, yeah, we have 5 startups today, so I'll move a little more quickly. Right. Okay, so next stage is for Matarstars. Matarstars provides fleet management solutions using AI for especially small, medium-sized enterprise logistics. in order to help automating the process of managing their fleet while transporting cargo, as well as reduce significantly their transaction cost. So Doc, who is the founder of Matarstars, is going to do their pitch. So please go on, Doc.
Okay, thank you for your time. Thank you for having me today. So my name is Đức, co-founder of Matarstars or ST in Vietnam. We are focusing on the logistics industry, and we provide the AI management solution. So AI in logistics in Vietnam is actually booming because the government they will release the new laws that will affect it at the end of this year. That's all logistic company like container trucks or trailers, they have to install the GPS camera into their vehicle, and that will affect about more than 500 vehicles by these new laws. And that's why there's a new opportunity for us to provide AI risk management to them. And for the problem, we actually focusing on the three different problems that are very still common in SME logistics in Vietnam. First is the land transportation is not fully optimized. As you can see, that's 5% is weighted. Entire operation actually is only not actually automated. Mostly it's lack of statistics that can statistic reports that can be easily to translate and analyze. And most importantly, the third point here is the lack of efficient to monitor. Lack of efficient tools for monitoring and control the safety of cargo and driver during the transporting process. That is very important right now in Vietnam, because during the transporting process is the most important part in logistics, and actually right now there's no tool to ensure the safety of the cargo and the drivers. And for the market opportunity, I can say that in 2020s that the total cost of logistics is about 21% of the total GDP of Vietnam in 2020, which is about 58 billion US dollars. And for the logistic companies, they pay about 4.58 billion US dollars for the logistic administration market for the tools. And for also the new law that will affect at the end of this year. Based on our calculation, the total market for 2020 alone is about 18 million. And that's why we provide our entire solution for them, the transportation management system, and especially the AI fleet management system. So for the TMS, we're actually focusing on the two type records. The first one is the revenues and the cost reports. And the most important is the vehicle usage reports, which will be used for our AI solution later to keep all the records of the maintenance of the vehicles. And for the AI fleet management reports, we're focusing on the three main points. The first one is automated end-to-end tracking to make sure that the drivers stay on the route, they're not going outside the route. Second is that we are statistically analyze the entire delivery process into the report for easily analyzed later. And especially we're using the GPS camera that is plugged into the vehicles to monitor the drivers beyond shooting. First is the facial recognition to recognize which driver is driving. And if the driver keeps up driving for more than 5 hours, there will be a warning to tell the driver to take 10 or 15 minutes to take a break. Or if for the last 7 days, if the drivers keep driving for too many hours, so the system will allow the manager that, okay, if you let this driver keep driving, there will be a huge risk of accident. That is first thing. And the second is we based on using the AI image recognition to recognize the pattern of the driver when he's driving. If both of their hands are keeping at the driving wheel, the machine will ignore. But if they lift one hand out of the driving wheel, the machine will monitor this driver to see what they are doing, what he is doing. For example, like using phone while driving, not fasten the seat belt. That will be very important because of the new law that requires all of the images taken from the GPS camera will be sent directly to API to the government to monitor that, and especially the fuel tire sleepy. So we based on our AI to identify the good pattern and the bad pattern to scoring the drivers to make sure that there are no risk, that reduce the risk of while they're driving, and that we are using our AI solution for. And next is we also apply our we also provide a social solution that's to keep the driver and manager to monitor entire routes when they are driving, and if they are like dangerous or traffic jam or the accidents that could happen on roads. So by on the GPS, the system will allow automatically to own the drivers by on the GPS if they are nearby. That also to reduce to ensure the safety of the cargo and the drivers while they're moving.
30
and
seconds.
So, yeah, for the benefits, we're focusing, like I said, we put on about reduce the transportation cost, the safety, and the maximizing the transportation capacity. And right now we are actually very new one, and we actually have we are on the partnering with the Viettel, one of the biggest telecom in Vietnam, because they want to embrace our they want to they are 4G and 5G, especially AI is one of the main things they want. And we are testing our AI solution with the Viettel Post and also Viettel Telecom at the moment. And for the competition, we actually can say that so far right now, we are the only one company in Vietnam right now are thinking and doing about this right now. We have the system already running. And for all the competitors, they not even think about this. They still think about the ERP, like enterprise resource planning, or the solution in the logistics. We are the only one to provide the AI fixed development at the moment right now. And for our team, we are so far we only raised from a true side from the angel round like from Hajin Hotasang, and also from the VCs like one of the biggest in Vietnam is PSV Capital. And we have 3 co-founders, me, Đức, Nam, and Tu. And that is all about my company. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Doug. All right. Okay, so let's quickly move. Oh yeah, Jess, already you turn on your camera. Please go on your question.
Yeah.
Okay, Doug, thanks for your presentation. Quick question for me. How are you going to get those feeds about alerts like floods or traffic problems and all that? Are you integrating with existing GPS applications like Waze or Google Maps? Or are you?
Yeah. Okay, can I answer your question now?
Please.
Yeah, so our solution, we are focused on the customization. Each company, they will have the fix outside. So there are 2 types of the information. The first is the general information like the few floods during that road. So we can take from the international news and put into map. That is very common for everybody. But we more focus on the customized one. For example, like with these companies, they have about like 50 trucks running outside in Vietnam. And if one driver they see, okay, this road actually have traffic jam at the moment right now, so he just create a real-time notification and based on the GPS and send to entire all the drivers. And based on the GPS that the run, for example, like if the trucks are nearby, for example, like 10 kilometers, so that they will keep warning them, say huge traffic jam here, you should move this all the way. So that is what we are doing. We're focusing on the customization for the each company to help them to build their own customized map. Yeah.
So you mentioned government is going to force every truck to install a GPS camera. So does that include the data that's being fed back to Ministry of Transport? Does that mean they have to feed data back to Ministry of Transport, all these trucks, or how does it work?
Yeah. So the news law right now they're focusing on the container truck and trailer first, which is about nearly 100,000 trucks in Vietnam, and they have to install at least 1 or 2 GPS camera, one for the cabin and all the other for the journey. And beyond the law, every 3 minutes they have to take picture and send to API to the dedicated server provided by the government. So which is about more than 10 million images sent per daily. And that's the reason why we want to partner with Viettel. Viettel is one of the biggest telecom in Vietnam, and they are also helping us with that because with the government resources, there's no way they can using any AI solution that to recognize which driver are not using fasten seatbelt. So they want to find the drivers that are not following the rules.
So your business model will be based on subscription on a per use basis?
Based on subscription, based on a subscription per truck per month.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Sang Yong, please go on.
Yeah, thank you very much for your presentation. If this is mandated by the government, do you see a lot of kind of fierce competition because this will be mandatory for all the vehicles? Would you expect a lot of kind of fierce competition for this field?
Yeah. Actually, I mentioned you the thing about competition. Firstly, we are proud to be the first one at the moment right now have the system running, which means that we have been spent like 7 months for developing it and testing it. That is first thing. So if the competitor want to follow us, they need to have the AI engineer, they have to have data and create the first model for testing. But that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is to run this AI fleet management solution successfully is the network, the tele. That's why we are partnering with Viettel, one of the biggest telecom in Vietnam right now. Viettel, they want to spread their 4G, 5G outside, and we are testing our system together with them and with their support about the network. So it will even make our advantage even more than the competitor. So that's why still so far right now, all the competitors, they are not even think about that because maybe the market is not their focus or maybe something else. But for us, so of course, we expect there will be some competitors to enter the market. But for what we are doing right now, so because if we are successfully testing our solution with the Viettel, with their Viettel Post is one of the biggest logistics in Vietnam, and successfully, so we will have the huge support from the telecom side. And with that, so I think we can compete with any kind of competitor if they want to compete with us.
I see. And do you also foresee any other kind of connection with insurance companies, potentially the logistics companies reduce their cost for insurance by using your technology?
Yes. That is one of our master plan right now. That's why we are at the process of fundraising right now for that, because our main goal is the big logistic data in Vietnam, and risky scoring is our focusing, because like I mentioned you, the most important for most of SME logistic company is safety. Because they may don't care about to reduce the cost transportation, but they really care about how to make sure the driver when they are outside it be safe and safe with cargo. So they are shooting when something like that. So that's why we are doing to collect data to bring to that direction to us, and then we can when we have enough data, we can create the model that can have more accuracy about the scoring between the driver, between the companies, so that we can partnering with the insurance companies. That is one of our end goal going to.
I see. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much again, Doc, and again, it's also another great presentation. All right, so let's move to the next pitch. So as I mentioned very earlier at the beginning of this session, we have 2 Thailand startups and 3 Vietnamese startups. So now it's another Thai startup, which is called AutoTech. Okay, so AutoTech is a startup developing a connected automotive aftermarket supply chain. Sounds great. Yeah, so they are trying to simplify the complexity of the product data throughout the supply chain to help people to do business easier. So Santi, yep. Right? So Santi is here. So
you can call me Honda. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, please go on.
My name is Honda, and I'm a CEO of AutoPair. So an average life of a passenger car is 12 years. The first 3 years of the new car is a worry-free period. So people would take their car to the authorized service centers to get their car maintenance or repair. However, after the first 3 years, it would be a nightmare for those who didn't have much knowledge about a car. And believe it or not, more than 80% of ordinary people have no clue about their car whatsoever. So most of the people would choose to go to the local workshops instead of an authorized service centers due to the price that's supposed to be cheaper. You would be surprised on how enormous this aftermarket industry worth. So basically, the amount of used car in Thailand is approximately 14 million cars nationwide, and the average cost of car maintenance and repair is $280 a year. So by multiply these two numbers together, it results in $4.1 billion a year. And this enormous numbers comes with an enormous pain point that has not been solved just yet. So the biggest problem of car maintenance is not knowing the servicing needs of your car. So most car owners simply follow the advice of the service station blindly, which would definitely have the question on price, standards, and lastly, transparency. So AutoTech is here to solve all of that pain points. We have created an immediate car maintenance cost prediction web app for end users to enable people to benchmark their maintenance and repair costs with average market price. Moreover, they can simply schedule the closest available trustworthy workshop accordingly. It may seem simple for the end user side, but in fact, before we are able to create this web app for end user, we must digitize the whole supply chain through our 6 core technologies first. And here's how we do it. So first, we collect the product data directly from the manufacturers and the distributors because they hold the most precise database. Because of the variety of data format, we have created an automated data cleansing process to keep them all at the same format. Second, we have approached the local retails in each area from the referral from both manufacturers and distributors to implement auto part matchmaking system. So with this system, the local retails would get orders from workshops within 10 kilometers radius, and they can deliver the product within 90 minutes to the workshop. Third, we have implemented the workshop management system to the traditional workshops, so they can search and order the product instantly from the system, as well as managing all the business aspects from job orders to account. And lastly, when all the data from different sources flow into our database, we can create an immediate car maintenance cost prediction for any end users. And to make it even simpler, we applied the vehicle classification with image processing into our web app so that end users who doesn't have any clue about their car can simply just take a photo of their cars and then it would tell the car models right away. Our strategy is a top-down approach. So we partner up with both domestic and global brands from auto parts to tires in order to speed the digitization of this fragmented market from top to bottom. We are currently in 29 provinces nationwide. We have digitized more than 250 traditional workshops with more than 3,500 completed transactions monthly. And our goal in 3 years is to digitize 5,000 workshops in every provinces nationwide. We believe we are the perfect team in digitizing this industry. Myself, I'm the 3rd generation of one of the oldest auto part distributor in Thailand. And together with Mr. Adun, who has dedicated his lifetime to automotive aftermarket industry, our deep knowledge and understanding in this industry will create a win-win platform for every stakeholder in the supply chain. With the expertise of my CTO and AI lead, our database and algorithms are constructed in the most effective way. And last but not least, our 2 advisors are Mr. Kwon from KK Fund, our venture capital, and Mr. Gonkrit, the president of Summit Auto Body Industry, the largest auto part manufacturers in Thailand. And this is all for AutoPair, connecting automotive aftermarket. Thank you.
Thank you, Honda. It's perfect. You're exactly on time. Thank you very much, even without alerting. Okay, so Jess, please go on your question.
Hi, Honda. Thank you for your presentation. Can you elaborate a bit more about the AI bit about your solution? It wasn't very clear in terms of how you're going to use AI in your application.
So basically, there are 3 parts there. First, for the manufacturers, we use the automated cleansing process by using the supervised learning. So we put down the input from all the different sources, and with the offline or manual expertise, we do some output that if this input will equal to this output. And then we have the machine learning learn how to go from that point input to output. And then we simply do a very massive amount of data until its credit score is about 80 or 85. So it still requires some people to go over it again, but it saves like more than 80% of the time. So that's for the cleansing process. And for the automated matchmaking through the local retails, actually we did the simply credit scoring. So because it's a 10 kilometers radius, so our credit score will base on first the amount of time that that local retails react with the orders that are coming in from the system, and the amount of time that they can keep it on track within the 90 minutes to deliver to the workshops. And that combining with the distance from the workshops that is ordered the parts, so they will get the order. So that's for the automated matchmaking part. And the third one is for the image processing. So basically what we did, we just have the photos of a car models for more than 200 images, and then saying, okay, this is this car model, like for example, Honda Civic, FD, something like that. So that's the three parts that are using machine learning.
Great, thank you. Just one more question. You are going to onboard the OEM's parts supply as well as the third-party spare parts suppliers onto your platform?
Yes, actually, we are doing that right now because so currently, because of the COVID situation, all the car makers have seen the trend that people are stopped buying new car more and more. So they are focusing on second channel market, which is aftermarket channels. So that's why they are kind of like more to the selling auto parts instead of selling cars. So that's a trend that we are seeing this year.
So will your app also have both the authorized workshop appointment system as well as the independent workshops?
No, we still only focuses on the local workshops. And the reason is that for authorized workshops, there are so many regulations. For example, the quality of the parts that must be genuine only. And our end users, they are the one who like in the out of warranty session. So they need more of the choices because they don't want to spend so much money on the genuine parts. And that's the main thing that prevent us from having authorized workshops using our platform.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your presentation. I have a question about who your customers are.
So we actually have several levels of customers. So first, for the end users, it may seem to be a really like large. So what we did, we actually went to the used car dealers, and then we use them as a referral to the used car buyers to using our platform, the scheduling service, the car maintenance. That's for the end users. For the workshops, we penetrating only on the local workshops. And to be more specific, there are so many types of workshops. We specifically go to tires and suspensions workshops, not the body parts. And the main reason is that for tires and suspensions, they are more engaging with customers because most of the car need to do periodic maintenance. So they will go to this kind of workshops to do some services. And that's our target for the workshops. And that reflects in the manufacturers and the wholesalers and the retailers. So we targeted only the retails that selling suspensions and tires, not the body parts. However, our plan, we know that for car insurance industry is a really huge market. We will go to that after we have completed this industry first.
And the business model for each of these customers,
right?
Do they pay a certain percentage of the sales?
Yes. So for manufacturers and wholesalers, basically they didn't spend any. They just give me the data, and the reason that they give me this data is because if their brands or their parts are in my database, there is more tendency that all the workshops would order. So I get the commission fee from the local retails because I lead in new orders from new workshops to them. So I basically get about 3 to 10% from the value of the parts. That's for the retails. And for the workshops, they actually need to pay me the subscription fee. However, we have the condition that if they purchase the auto parts from the system more than 10,000 baht, we can waive the subscription fee. So that's another thing that we do for the workshops. And lastly, for end users. So for end users, we basically mark up quite a high margin, about 30% to the end users. And the way we did the business here is that if the end user schedule through our platform, we will then send the parts to the workshops that they would like to go in, and that workshop would get the commission fee from us too. So that would prevent them from not communicating directly with each other, but rather than stay in the platform.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's done with it. Okay, so thank you very much for your compact presentation of the compact Q&A. Well, thank you very much. You're on time on presentation of the Q&A. Perfect. Thank you very much again. All right.
Thank you.
So, okay, let's move on to the last pitch from EM&AI. EM&AI is a Vietnamese startup making intensive research of Vietnamese natural language processing. And here today we have Tay, who's going to the pitch and explain about the business model and technology. So Tay, please, it's your time.
Hi, can you see the whole screen that I share?
Yes, but the screen is a little bit cut. Oh yeah, I think this better.
Okay, nice to meet you guys. My name is T, and it's my honor to be here to talk to you about voice AI and contact center. So in EM&AI, we strongly believe that contact center that stand outside of the automation trends we may not be able to meet the need of the customers. Even when 69% of customers feel frustrated by using IVR system, they still prefer calls over other communication channels to the brands. So, but unfortunately, only 2% of all calls analytic manually will not be able to accurately reflect customer experience and agents' qualities. So that is the reason why a lot of companies are paid a lot more than they should be. According to Opus research surveys, an overwhelming 32% of companies believe that speak analytics can lead to improved customer experience, and a lot of companies believe that it will be the way for cost saving. And of course, they increasing revenue enhancements. That's the reason why we come out with virtual agents and virtual QC. So virtual agents is like bot agents in the conversational AI platform that help businesses to create their own voice bot and chat bots, while virtual QCs will support them with generating customer insight and agents evaluations. So we create the first comprehensive ecosystem that allows to optimizing both the process of automating conversations with the customers and real-time evaluating and monitoring the call quality of the contact centers. So I would like to jump right into the demo for you guys. So, okay.
Dạ, cho em hỏi anh Ân đang nghe máy phải không ạ?
Đúng rồi em.
Dạ, em tên là Nhi, gọi từ công ty tài chính ABC Credit. Em xin phép trao đổi với anh ít phút về khoản vay trả góp được không ạ?
Được, em nói đi.
Anh vui lòng thanh toán giúp em đủ tiền kỳ góp tháng này là 3 triệu đồng vào hoặc trước ngày 6 tháng 6 năm 2021. Cho hợp đồng có 4 số cuối là 1306 để tránh phát sinh lại quá hạn. Dạ, thì không biết khi nào anh đi đóng được à?
Chắc phải ngày 10 tháng 6 anh mới đi đóng được em.
Sao vậy anh ơi? Dạ, anh cố gắng xoay sở để thanh toán số tiền 3 triệu đồng trước ngày 6 tháng 6 năm 2021 để tránh phát sinh lại quá hạn à?
Vậy thôi thứ 6 anh đi đóng luôn.
Dạ vâng ạ, em đã ghi nhận thông tin trên hệ thống cho mình rồi ạ. Em cảm ơn và xin chào anh.
See, one of our preview bot that could personalize customer experience by changing his essence and message based on the customer's genders and age, and a lot of information that we can get via the API. So we also have another solutions that is virtual QC that can help businesses to analyze the customer insights and to know more via using the technologies such as speak-to-text technologies or sentiment analytics to understand whether the customer feel unhappy or negative about the brands. So we are focusing on the targets in the first phase, that is the mid to large size enterprise in Vietnam, including BFSI and contact center businesses and contact center business process outsourcing company with value more than 240 million US dollars. But we just don't want to stop there. The motivations of EM&AI is not only the Vietnamese market, but also the international market, with the market value up to 23 billion US dollar in 2025, and expected to grow 37% per year. So we try to conquer this market by using two key pricing models. The first one is monthly subscriptions, and second one is licensing for on-prem solution deployments. Because as we have mentioned before, we're focusing on BFSI, so we want to make sure that the privacy security will be the highest. And we are not only just serving these enterprise, but also we create many different kind of AI preview bots to support and collab with a lot of companies and enterprise and consulting partner in Vietnam to deliver these solutions. For example, Amazon Web Service in Vietnam, Google and Genesis, or CMC Corporation, Misha, a lot of company, big enterprise in Vietnam are already being our partner to deliver these solutions to their customers. So all the technologies that we create are built are our core technologies built by us, such as speak-to-text technologies, sentiment analytics, natural language processing, and text-to-speak technologies. So there's the informations and the number that show the real solutions that we deliver to our customers. And that's the reason why that we want a lot of competitions in Vietnam, that we already deliver the very good product to customers, also our partners. So in this phase, we are looking for $1 million US for the next round of funding to invest in the sales strategies and R&D for the new language AI model, which is English model. So we have the team that committed, founding team that worked with passions in the last 3 years, and very strong experienced AI team led by Dr. Long, who is our co-founders. So we really want to can speak with you guys today and have a little push to make us become the global leader in AI-powered customer experience platform. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Tay. Okay, yeah, you can stop your screen sharing. And then, okay, so last Q&A. So who's going to ask first? Sunyoung, Jess, Weber.
Yeah, okay, maybe I'll start. Thanks for your presentation. How many languages do you plan to develop apart from Vietnamese in the future?
Yeah, we in the last 3 years of development, we are really focusing on Vietnamese AI models. So we already cover all the accents in Vietnam. So whether people in different locations, they can speak, and the bot can be able to understand their voice. Especially we analyze the voice that goes through the contact centers, meaning that the voice is very low in the qualities. And we are developing our AI English model, and of course that we want it to cover different kind of English, like Indian English or Singaporean English, or different kind of accents of the language.
Okay, so can your system be adapted for purely a cloud-based contact center, or do you need some kind of on-prem equipment?
Now we can support with customer for both. Like our customer can hosting it on-prem if they want to, or they can choose private cloud or shared cloud that we can deliver to the customer. So whatever way that the customer wants, we can be able to do that.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. How would you compare, when you expand to English, and I'm sure there are more competitors for the English language, how would you compare yourself, and how would you describe your competitive edge?
So when we move to like English speaking markets, I agree with you that we have a lot of competitors, but ours like exclusive technologies and features that we have, the active learning AI technologies, mean that the bot can listen to the human agents and like suggesting to human agents. So when the human agent correcting what the bot said, or human agent try to communicate with the customer, the virtual agents can be able to learn from that. That means that this bot will be very specializing in that domain, and also can be become smarter and smarter over time, not just after deployment, and this just stop there. So that make us different, and we strongly believe that when we move to another domain or another market, the bot can serve customer well in like be very in detail about how it needs to do and how it can support with the customers.
I don't know whether I've missed it or not. Can you describe your kind of business model, or how you work with your customers?
Yeah, so we have two key business models. The first one is subscriptions. So subscription is more for the SME customers. So we are working with a lot of enterprise in Vietnam and business process outsourcing in Vietnam. So they do the outsourcing of contact centers for many companies in Vietnam. So we can provide them the pre-built AI bots, mean that the bot already know what to do, don't need any kind of customizations later on, so they can serve more clients, more end user with that bot. And in our company, we will be more focusing on the BFSI, like financial institutions, banking and insurance company, to create more customized and customized solutions for them. So that is what our company now is focusing on.
Thank you.
Okay, well, seems like we're done with all pitches in the Q&A. So Tay, thank you very much again for your presentation. Especially thanks to you for waiting for your turn. Okay, all right. So it's time for our judges to make the final decision. So Sun Young and Jess, as I instructed, you guys can go to the separate call link and then have a final discussion. So in the meantime, we can have a little bit of a chat with our panelists today while our judges are making the final decisions. So again, well, it was really great to see all these 5 finalists, and then your passion, and then your enthusiasm to make changes and solve the problem and make an impact, and also trying to find the best solution, especially by using the AI. And so while you guys have been doing your business and then making changes and impact, and I just wonder what are the really biggest challenges that you guys are facing as a startup entrepreneur. Perhaps yeah, anyone can start. Maybe Honda. Could you share any big challenges that you're facing, and then what are the really solutions you're expecting from the AI ecosystem partners?
Oh, so I think the main challenges from my industry is that it's so traditional that it's really hard to convince all of these existing people in the supply chain to learn how to use technology, and how to convince them that by using this technology would help their business significantly. So I think that's my most challenges, and that actually took AutoTech about 3 to 4 years until we are able to start to slowly digitize the supply chain. And as I mentioned in the presentation, that at the end of the day, I chose to go for the top-down approach by having those product owners push their distributors and stuff. So yep. So I think that's my challenges.
Yeah, well, so it means that it's kind of traditionally existing legacy system is sometimes too tough to break, and then also change the mindset, also change the existing rules is something that all the tech and innovators are facing. I think, especially if you wanted to transform the traditional sector, and I think that's definitely big challenges. Great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. What about Waradom? Do you have a similar challenges, or is there any new challenge that you also want to share?
Yeah. So for I think for challenge at AutoTech, since we do like B2B business, right? So it's like for us, convincing our customer as a startup is really challenging. So so what we have done based on our own strategies, like we working with many corporate partners, like AC vendors, like cloud service vendor that they already have our customer as their target already, or they already sold their products to our customer, like Daikin that already like sell their aircon to our clients. So I think for our strategy, selling this kind of software, this kind of solution is like we have to work with our partner a lot. So that's yeah, the challenge, like we always like constantly solving, because it's like as a startup, most customer, they don't trust as a basis, right? They're like, oh, you have been doing this for 2 years or 3 years, we don't trust you. But when we work with our partner, like Daikin, like Microsoft, or other vendors, it make this thing like possible, and once they get a chance to use our product, they kind of love it, right? And during COVID-19, we also have challenge building stop operations. We cannot install our devices, our platform to any buildings. We at that time we working with a hospital, right, and hotels that doing state quarantine. So we ended up install system to help patient in state quarantine to connect with the doctor, nurse. So we ended up having like 20 hotels and almost like 40,000 people using our platform. So it's kind of, yeah, that's a lot of challenge, but we kind of try, as a startup, we try to find a ways, okay, which the best thing to do at each point in time. So I think after we opening the country, maybe this thing getting better. Yep.
Okay. Thank you very much also for sharing your challenge, particularly during the COVID-19. And then, well, what about you, Tae? Well, especially during the COVID-19, is your business even booming, or do you also have similar challenges and difficulties? Tae?
So, hi. Okay. So let's.
Yeah, okay. Just let's repeat the questions. Okay. Yeah. I mean, the one of them just shared some kind of challenges that he faced during COVID-19 because the quarantine situation, particularly his also business partners, a lot of his business partners are hospital. And I also wonder, actually, you are building AI agent, and especially in the non-context in the business environment, perhaps even you got a big opportunity, or maybe there are some other challenges maybe I missed. So I just wonder what kind of opportunities, challenges that you actually found and learned from the COVID-19 situation, pandemic.
Yes, so we are facing both, faces in the both ways. So in the first phase, first way is like really a big opportunities because our customer find out that customer interacting with them more in the contact centers. So a lot of people have to like call to the brand and communicate with them via the contact centers, and the customer experience become more and more important to them. And especially like a lot of human agents, they are leaving the companies, which means that when the brand they want to catch up with the sale activity or marketing activity, they have to like have some kind of solutions to support them with that. And by training human agents in this time is not enough, so they need the voice bot, the AI robot or AI chatbot to support them with scaling the contact center. So it's create a really big opportunity for us. But at the same time, because in this phase, we are more focusing on enterprise, big company in Vietnam. So it has to go through the pilot phase. So mean that we have to demo to a lot of companies, and they have to be satisfied about it. So it's more kind of like project based. So the customer want to like the bot to mimic the human agents. So in this way, the project is a little bit slowed down, but we strongly believe that in the next few months, it's going to be really boom and increase a lot. Yeah.
Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts and then also lessons learned. All right. Okay. Well, I got a message from the both judges and who said that they made a final decision. Okay. So, well, I invite everybody to turn on your camera. Okay, this is a final announcement time, and Jess or Sun Young or one of you guys can announce the winner. Who is going to do it? Maybe ladies?
Yes, ladies.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I mean, thank you everyone for your presentation. We were very excited to listen to your presentation and very impressed with your companies. We have made a decision for the winner, and the winner is AltoTech. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. So one of them, tell us kind of announcement from your side. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Just want to say thank you for choosing us as a winner. So we know that our work has a lot of challenges, has a lot of obstacle for the last 2 years since COVID hit Thailand and Southeast Asia and around the world. It's been really hard trying to push this thing into buildings, into the things. But I think for now, people realize that recovery from COVID-19, we need to talk about sustainability. So sustainability is one of the key that we're gonna grow forward for everything: economics, society, energy, and everything. So we think our solution is one of the tools that gonna digitize cities, digitize the country to go forward, so that we can achieve what most people want. We want to be like net zero carbon by 2050. I think we building one of the two that driving this work. Thank you so much for choosing us as a winner. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Actually, I saw some evaluation scoring board here, and then, but you guys are kind of very same score, and I thought it is quite challenging for our judges to make the final decision. So it means that all you guys were really great today. I kindly ask our judges today to make just even one sentence will be fine as a feedback for each team, because I think that will be very, very valuable input to our finalists to understand and how they can improve their pitch and their business model or something. So if you can have a time, just one sentence, very short comments and feedback for each team will be really, really appreciated. And then I can share our judges' feedback to all you guys. And also, okay, so one of them, I'm going to communicate you separately about the grand final. But as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to have a follow-up session all together with you guys by delivering the feedbacks from the audience and also judges, and also some other also interesting opportunities that we could provide in our program, not just for the winner, but also for other finalists today. Does it sound okay with you guys? I hope so. Great. Okay, great. Thank you very much. All right. So thank you very much to everyone. So thanks a lot to our judges for your really invaluable times. And thanks a lot to our finalists for preparing for your presentation. Also, thanks to everyone in the audience who were together with us until the end of this session. Okay, well, there is just one small poll here. So maybe our team can pop up our poll, just a small poll about, how do you feel, how likely are you to recommend this webinar to a friend or colleague? Okay, just single score, single choice. Okay, please, feel free to choose one of these 10 options. Okay, all right. So it's time to say goodbye, and thank you very much again, and have a good day, have a good evening, or have a good afternoon wherever you are, and then thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Well done, all of you.
Thank you.
Selector, rewind selector, rewind selector, rewind selector, rewind selector, rewind selector. Selector, rewind selector, rewind selector, rewind selector, rewind selector, rewind selector. Selector, rewind selector, rewind selector, rewind selector. Rewind selector. Rewind selector.